Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the It's Pizza Time podcast. I'm your host, Indigo. Today I'm joined by my co-host, Taps, and our very special guest, Vari.
What's up? Hello.
So, like, for everybody who doesn't know who or what Vari is, would you like to give, like, a little bit of a brief?
Yeah. So I'm Vari, and I'm a producer. I'm currently living in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I guess I make like dance music and electronic music, ranging from house stuff, more heavy stuff, less heavy stuff. I try and keep it varied. No pun intended. But
Oh.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like I should have been more prepared for this question. Who am I? What am I? What do I do? But yeah,
Man, I ask
I have
myself that question
had
every day.
releases on a Mad Zoo and Good Vibrations, which maybe people will know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
That was
excited
that
to
was
be
really
here.
cool. Like, I remember fucking the first time I heard your shit was because, like, Joe, like, I think recommended your
Yeah,
shit
that
to
makes
me.
sense.
And then I was like, and then I just, like, saw you were coming out with something on Good Vibrations, and I was like, that's
No,
that's
that
not the
one.
same guy, is it? Like, that was very, you
I
know.
think that one surprised everyone and kind of came out of nowhere. And it was like it was a lot of behind the scenes stuff that was very just like lined up perfectly to be able to make that happen. So that was a really cool one. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Tune's a
That one,
banger as well.
no, yeah, it was. I was holding on to that one for quite a while, like over a year or so, and I had like pitched it with a couple others as like an EP to a few other places, and it just never really stuck. And then since I've been friends with Shadient for a little bit, and obviously he's deep into the Good Vibes people, and so I've met them, and I had met Nightmare and Slander before, like throughout the years, and so like they've always been super nice and supportive. Like Nightmare especially is just like the biggest chiller on earth, bar none. And so then over time, one day, Shadient sent them over the song, and it stuck, and now there we were. So it all kind of came together well. It
Yeah,
was a
it's
long
kind of,
path.
yeah, it's definitely crazy how, like, shit works like that sometimes. You just kind of, like, happen to know a couple people that know other
Definitely.
people, and then it
I
just,
mean, everyone always says it, but like it really is true. Like the further, it's all just about like making friends, and like that's how you really go places. But I mean, you have to have the bangers to go with it. It's
yeah.
like 50% luck, 50% skill, because like the opportunities showing up, I think a lot of times can be luck, where you just like run into people or like have these like different opportunities, but then whenever those opportunities arise, you've got to have that product to deliver and be ready to make the most of it. And that
Mm.
part's the skill part. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like the luck part is like, just having the opportunity to meet certain people, and that's still something like I'm
Yeah.
completely like shocked about sometimes, because there'll be like has like happened before that, like, I'll I'll meet someone, and then, like, we'll get to be like close friends or whatever, and then I'll meet a completely different person, and then we'll get to be close friends, and then I had like no idea, but they know, like, those two people would know each other, or
Oh
like
yeah.
they would have like a mutual, and it's just so
Like
interesting how, like, shit is connected that
especially
way.
in the EDM scene, like the like underground scene with artists, like the more you get into it, it's like everyone does kind of know everyone, or even if they're not like, friends personally, they at least like
Mm.
everyone kind of knows of everyone. It's all just one big network. You
Oh
got
That's
like,
yeah.
something I found as well. Like
yeah.
a lot of the people I know, and they're like, "Oh yeah, do you know this person?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just talked to them like the other day." It's just like everything's so interconnected.
Yeah. But then
Um,
like that also comes with the downsides of like then you got like rumors and shit spread fast and all that.
That's
So
true.
you get all that fun social dynamic stuff, but I guess that's maintained.
Yeah. It's also like, it's interesting to see, like, the different, I guess, the varying genres, because it's like there are people who, you'd expect it wouldn't be like wouldn't know at all like who this like maybe like a
Yeah.
trap artist wouldn't really know who like a fucking house artist is, at least not like super personally, but like then they're like best friends or something for some reason.
No, that
which
is interesting. Like people will be just like personally best friends and stuff, and like do a lot of stuff together, even though like their careers are just like completely diverging in different paths.
Yeah,
But I mean, I don't know. It's good
Like-
to bridge those gaps.
I would love to see like like one of those like connection map thingies where like
Yeah.
I would love to see that like, but just with even if you did it just by like what by like released like collabs or whatever, you would probably get to like 90% of the entire like electronic community would be like connected in some
Somewhere
way.
connected, yeah.
It,
Like
it's kinda
degrees of
nuts.
separation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wonder how many degrees of separation different artists have from like Skrillex. Because like, what's that one thing that people do? It's like people's degrees of separation from it's like this actor.
Kevin Bacon.
Oh yeah, that was it. It's like
Yeah.
I forget what it was called, but it was like any actor in like all of Hollywood or some shit is connected to Kevin Bacon within like 3 degrees of separation or some weird shit.
Yeah, it's like
Jeez.
it, oh my god. It's like the
Oh, you could do that with like Diplo, and it'd be crazy.
Mhm.
Probably like Diplo or Skrillex or like some of the bigger
Mm.
ones. I feel like Zed's Dead would definitely have it because they've fucking
that's
worked
a
with
good one.
everybody.
Porter as well.
Porter, I don't know if Porter hasn't had that many collabs, but maybe like the people that he has collabed with have had a lot of collabs, and so it would kind of trace
Yeah.
back to him quicker from there.
Hmm.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
Yeah,
it's
That's
like
that'll be our next project, making the EDM web.
Yeah. Honestly,
It's
though,
like-
and I think
yeah,
so much more with EDM, it's just like everyone is so unbelievably open to just hanging out with people. Like
Yeah.
the people, like when I was first getting into it, I never would have expected at all to hang out with the people I have in the past, and and currently it's just like there's no way. I'm like this will never happen. They're too big or whatever. But no, there's like at least to the people I've met, there's like ego is not really like that much of an issue
Yeah.
in EDM. Everyone's like super low key and down to talk to you regardless of your follower count.
yeah. Nobody.
In a way, though, I definitely think there are some egos,
Oh,
though. I
oh,
think
yeah.
people
Definitely.
do be on their ego shit a lot.
yeah.
But no,
Tons.
back to kind of relating back to what you were saying earlier about how like people will know each other, like you'll know like two different people and then they'll know each other separately. Like just the other day, I was like talking to Luca Lush, and then we were talking, and he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, your boy Taps is like doing VR," and I was like, "What? Like you guys know each other?"
I was
So, yeah,
hanging
that
out
was-
with him last night.
No, yeah, he said he was doing some set last night.
Yeah, it was good.
It's like it's super cool stuff, and it's also really cool like just how I mean it probably has contributed to the fact that like with at least collaborating with electronic music, it's a lot easier to do because now you're just like sending files back and forth instead of you don't have to like meet up and write like with the band anymore. Like, I mean, like being in our field, we probably like just kind of brush off collabs a lot because it's like it's like fairly common. It's like one in like every 2 releases would be like a collab of some kind. But like I remember that like there was like a Queen song that like it was Queen and David Bowie, right? Like how many people must have like
Shit.
lost their shit when they heard that was coming out?
Because I guess like when you got like bands and stuff, like they don't really collab. Like how would you do a collab with like 2 rock bands?
Exactly.
That'd be just like really hard. So yeah,
Yeah.
EDM I think has brought collabs way to the front, or even like pop music. They'll collaborate a lot on stuff.
Rap
but-
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like pop and rap in a way are still like produced electronically most of the time.
Yeah.
And you might have some live elements and stuff, but
Yeah.
whereas doing a whole band. But yeah, I think there may have been a Queen, but I'm not the person to ask about that. My knowledge of like classic rock shit is horrible.
Yeah, it was the Queen David Bowie collab was like Under Pressure, I think it was that one.
Under Pressure? Shit.
Yeah.
That's
and-
interesting. I know there's one collab. It was the We Are the World song. Like the original We Are the World song. It was written by like Michael Jackson, and I think there was someone else that helped write it. But the performance of it was this like massive collaboration video with like every like big singer of that time, like the most like famous people all came together and like made that song, and that's like massive collab.
Yeah,
But I
like
guess yeah.
I could imagine like people losing their shit to that because it's collabs were basically, I would say they were pretty much unheard of like before
Yeah.
like a certain period because it was just
For
too
like
hard to do.
electronic producing made it a lot easier to collaborate, I guess.
Yeah, it's like you said, like electronic producing is now like the main backbone of like pop and like hip hop music, which is kind of weird to like to say. Like I can't think of a single like pop band that doesn't do like electronic stuff like in the background.
Yeah.
At least because it's like
I
now
feel
if
like
it's
even like live bands, they'll usually have like a guy up on the synth or like an electric keyboard that's got like a bunch of different presets and stuff. Like
yeah.
We have
But
like
it's
Ableton open on a laptop.
yeah, like samplers and stuff like that. Like they've all kind of integrated it in some way, which is cool.
Yeah.
Love to
It's
see it.
also really interesting because I feel like if you see like a band that is like completely live and they record all of their music like completely live and stuff like that, it wouldn't be like considered a pop band anymore. Like people would consider that like indie. You know what I mean? It's
That
like
makes
very
sense.
weird. It's like rewriting, I guess, like what the popular genre is.
Definitely. I mean, sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought because someone texted me, and so now I'm completely, I've completely stumbled out of my thoughts.
Should we ask him the all-important question?
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
we
it's
haven't
time.
even done that
I'm
yet.
ready.
I forgot about that.
I'm getting sidetracked.
Yeah, I mean that's usually how the show goes. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, so the one question we ask everybody: what is your favorite kind of pizza?
All right, this one's easy. I'm already prepared. It's the Domino's thin crust squares. You put Italian sausage and mushrooms on it. You get like a side of ranch with that shit. Fucking A1, dude.
Ooh.
That's the answer. Like, cause the thin crust squares, they're amazing because it's like they're so thin. It's like pizza chips. It's like you're eating crackers. And so
Okay.
great for parties, great for snacking on. I mean, don't get me wrong. I fuck with some like thick crust, like some deep dish shit or anything like that. But still, nothing beats thin little pizza crackers.
See, I like
What about you guys?
that. I'm just not a big fan of the fucking little squares, cause it's
Okay, well,
particularly the middle squares, cause I have to like pick them up and like hold them from like underneath, kind of like
yeah,
some
that is
weird
true.
shit.
I'll give you that one. It's a little bit awkward to hold those because they
Yeah.
don't really have a crust.
And then you just
But
get
I mean,
grease
that's
all
just
over
the
your
price
fingers.
you pay.
Yeah.
You just got to deal with that. Let's see. Runner up is like I enjoy stuffed crust. Like lately, I've been getting like those DiGiorno pizzas where they've got like the stuffed cheese crust, and like oh my lord, those smack. It's like you finish eating the pizza and then the crust is like, it's like you're eating like cheesy bread from like Little Caesars or something. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, you're gonna hate me for this, but like we talked about it in an episode, and I still have never had stuffed crust. I never went out and got it because I forgot.
You never had
I've
stuffed crust?
never in my life have I had stuffed crust, which is
What's stopping you? What's stopping you?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I just don't want to walk to the store, and then if I do, I forget about it.
Sorry, I just had someone walk in. Jacob, I'm doing an interview.
Oh shit! Is Jacob there?
So-
Here,
no,
Jacob, you can come say hi.
Yeah, say hi. Fucking, we'll be very mean to
Hold
you.
up, Jacob.
What's up?
Cheers.
Fire? What the fuck? Where'd that
God.
come from? What? We're just having an interview. Taps has just got Fireball on lock.
I'm
on
always
ready.
prepared.
Stay strapped.
Always
Jesus.
strapped.
Damn. But no, yeah, this is an hour, so just shh.
It's fine. We don't
You
don't
can-
care
you
at
can
all.
watch it. You can watch it in my room.
Just sit there on the couch and awkwardly stare from the
No,
background.
he's like he's gonna be like sitting on the couch, just like watching TV in the background.
This is
Hon-
the boiler
honestly,
room
go for it.
edition
no,
of the
no, fuck it.
podcast.
You can watch TV in here. That'd be funny. Go
Yeah.
ahead, put on something.
Yeah,
It's
switch the
it's like
fireplace.
boiler room set. Instead of him watching CDJs, it's him watching the podcast, like
I'm not
awkwardly
just-
behind you.
We'll just have like a big party to get as many people as I can over here, and do like another interview just with people
Yeah.
like all around me screaming.
Anybody who isn't watching like the YouTube episode is gonna be just incredibly confused. But you know, Oh, you got a cat there too?
Oh yeah, that's
That's
Waffle.
waffles.
It's
Oh,
Waffle. It's singular.
Waffle. Single waffle. Okay.
This is a cat that's all over my Instagram. Like half my Instagram's this fucking cat.
That cat
a
has
cute
bitten me
boy.
more times than I can count.
No, yeah, she bites everyone. It's like a rite of passage. But like she
Yeah.
can be sweet sometimes. But also like now she's like learned to get my attention in like the most annoying ways because she learned how to play fetch with like these little knit toys that my grandma made her. Like which like that's like a whole nother topic because my grandma like got my cat Christmas presents, which is the cutest thing ever. But she like hand knitted these little mice and ball things. Let me see if I can find one.
Okay, I thought you
Here's
were
one
gonna
over here
say
on the
like
floor.
she got your cat a Christmas present, but didn't get you a Christmas present. I thought that's where you were gonna go with that.
No, well, thankfully not. That would have been
That
terrible.
would
But
be
yeah,
fun.
we got these little knit mice.
Oh,
Very
that's
cute. And she
adorable.
loves those and she'll like play fetch with them. But then once you start playing fetch, there's no stopping playing fetch. You're thereby committed. And so she'll keep bringing it back. And if you stop playing, then, that's when the shit begins. That's when I'll be like sitting here facing the TV and she'll hop up on my desk behind me and start like swatting at the back of my neck and like hitting me. And then if I'm sitting here facing my monitor, she'll go behind my monitor. She will lay down on her side, and this bitch will swat at my hands while I'm typing on the keyboard. She'll like hit my keyboard. It's
Damn.
devious. It's evil. Bro, are you putting on iCarly? God damn it.
Yes, dude.
Whatever. I fuck with it. Let's do it.
You know what? It's fine.
Dude, everyone I know has
like,
been watching iCarly lately. What's going on?
I
I don't know.
Like, did they just
I-
bring it to Netflix or something?
it,
Oh, they did?
maybe?
Okay.
I don't know. I've only seen like I think maybe 4 episodes in my life. I've never really like watched it as a kid. Which was
Really? I don't know.
How unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, iCarly
yeah.
is kind of a banger, man. Then you got like
dude.
Victorious, which is like kind of questionable.
I
No,
grew up on,
Victorious, like
Yeah.
it was good, but like Victorious was like half show, half like weird young adult thirst trap. Like I don't know. I just remember a lot of the shows like that were interesting. Drake and Josh was the biggest banger though. That one was the real classic.
Yeah, I never got a chance to watch any of that because like most of what I watched as a kid was just like European shit that like
Hell yeah.
European
Yeah.
shit?
yeah, because it's like
Are-
my
Are
mom
you from
was,
Europe?
like, yeah, I'm Swedish.
I didn't know
so
that.
like
Oh
yeah,
shit, you were like born raised in Sweden. That's sick.
born not raised, but
But not born, not raised.
or
Okay.
no, born but not raised. Like
Okay,
I'm
fair.
almost I'd say I'm mostly like American at this point because you can
No,
tell
that's
by
fair.
my accent. It's not very
Yeah, you don't
Swedish, is it?
Sound outwardly Swedish, but I'm not sure I could replicate a Swedish accent on the spot anyway. Like I'm not really
Just
sure.
think PewDiePie.
PewDiePie? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, his accent, I guess, I don't know. I never paid attention.
It's
I'll
like
have to.
if I can like turn it on, it's like the Swedish accent is a little more I guess more forced vowels, a little more
Forced
compressed,
vowels,
a little more
okay.
compressed like this. Forced
A little more
consonants. I mean,
compressed.
it's like
Man's turning down the threshold.
it's a longer vowels, shorter consonants,
Okay,
kind of like that.
that's a good analysis.
like it's a very interesting accent. It's like and
It's kind of freaky how you just turn that on like that.
Yeah.
it's very weird because sometimes I do it like without realizing, especially if I'm like over in Sweden like over the summer, because it's like all my friends want to like talk. All my friends like over there, they want to speak English because they want to practice their English. So
Yeah.
like I'll be talking with them and then like I don't know, just a switch flips and then like for the rest of the summer I'm like talking like that, which is really like weird. And it was because like
No,
I
that
brought,
is weird.
yeah, I brought like an American friend of mine like over there like a couple summers ago, and we went like and had like lunch with one of my friends that lives there. And then I started doing that, and then he was just like, "What the fuck? I've never heard this from you before. This is really weird."
No, that's how that reminds me of my dad, because my dad was born and raised Scottish. Like this man was whole ass like living in Aberdeen his whole life, and then
Scotland.
him and my mom moved over here, and they got so like I've got like half my family is like just whole ass Scottish, like still over there, and I don't notice my dad's accent because he's my dad, but other people tell me that like the accent is super noticeable. But whenever we go back to Scotland and he starts talking with like my Scottish family and like other Scottish people, then like the accent definitely like that shit snaps right back.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to see.
It's really weird how that works, because it's like, with your parents, like if they have accents, you don't really think about it because, that's just kind of like how you've always perceived it. Like,
No, yeah.
yeah, like I never, like, it wasn't until I was like maybe in high school where I realized that Swedish people had an accent, because like to me it was just normal. That was just like,
And I guess
thought
that's
it
how
was,
everyone is in the place. Like, I don't know. I'm sure or I don't know. I think if I went somewhere international, like, I don't know. Would you say Oklahoma? I mean, I guess Oklahoma has an accent, definitely, but just be like Southern, though.
It's like a weird blend of like, I don't know. It's a weird blend, at least for me. It's like a weird blend of like, it's not quite Southern. It's not quite like Texas, but it's like
Yeah,
a weird blend between Midwest, Texas, and a little bit of like California, because there's a
a
lot of
little bit of
Californians here.
California. Are there a lot of Californians here? I feel like I
Well,
don't.
more and more over time.
would you say that,
Maybe
would you
there's
say
just
that
a
you
lot of
guys,
Californians everywhere.
would you say that you guys have like an Oklahoman accent, or?
Well,
I
that's the
would
thing
say a
is that
little
I'm not
bit.
even sure what an Oklahoma accent is. Like, if we're like, I don't think that I talk super Southern sounding, and I try like I don't really say like y'all or like I
Yeah.
do very rarely,
Like
but
if,
I kind of
I
picked
don't
up,
know, like I
y'all
wouldn't really
recently.
been
a little bit.
yeah, I wouldn't really be able to like pinpoint where either of you guys are from just based on like your accent alone. It's
Yeah, I
very
mean
like,
America's hard because like there's so many different like it's so big. There's so many different places that have like very slightly different accents and stuff. So I feel like most people internationally would just hear us and be like, "Oh, that's an American accent," and just
yeah,
kind of
The
generalize it a
one
little bit.
the one thing I think for me that categorizes the Oklahoma accent is the O's, like how we pronounce O's and stuff. Like it's just there's something about it that has its own quality.
That's fair. Oklahoma. I don't know. It's a hard one. Every time I'm the worst at replicating accents though, because people whenever they find out I'm Scottish, they're always like, "Oh, do a Scottish accent," and then I just come out sounding straight fucking Australian or some shit. Like I'll be like, "Oi,
yeah,
laddie, come get some fish and chips." It's like I don't. It sounds terrible.
fucking
People are gonna make
yeah.
fun of me in the comments of this video now.
bro.
All of like the English speaking like accents, it's very much, it's just very like, I guess, different like nuances that you gotta like worry about, like
Yeah.
whether, yeah, because it's like whether it be like American, British, Scottish, Australian, it's like just
South African.
minor differences.
Yeah, I feel like British and or Australian and like British and Scottish, like they're super close together. They're all like the same like genre of accent with like slight differences.
Yeah,
Like I might get blown up in the comments for this, but I've always said that Australian accents sound like redneck UK accents
I mean that
because
is
I
like,
don't know.
I did like,
Or maybe that's
the
also
comments can
Scottish too.
yeah, the comments can flame me like all they fucking want, but like that's kind of like what Australia was in initially.
No, yeah,
weren't
that's what
they?
I was thinking
Like,
too. Because wasn't it
they,
like they sent like prisoners
Australia.
there, right?
yeah. So it's like I can imagine, like I can see where you get
Yeah.
that from.
Makes sense that it would start from a UK accent. Because I don't know, I
Yeah.
guess everyone would. I feel like a lot of people like the stereotypical UK accent comes across as very like fancy and posh when
Yeah.
people think of like the
Unless you're,
London like British person. But then
unless
like it
you're,
even
from
varies like in
Cockney,
country.
Surrey.
Like there's like areas of Scotland where it's like more chill, and then there's areas of Scotland that I've been to where it's like they're
Where-
technically speaking English, but it's a fucking stretch.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
yeah, you
it's-
can't understand them like at all.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
rough.
It's
Like,
like yeah. I'll go for
Yeah, I
it.
got homies that are like northern UK, northern England, and you can really tell versus like my homies that are from like the London area.
Yeah.
Very
I guess like the
different.
London accent is like maybe what people think of like the fancy British accent,
Yeah.
but then like once
Yeah,
you get out on
stop.
those edges, then you get to those like small town British accents. It gets a little bit rougher.
Yeah. Like
But
people just have
that's
an
the same in
idea.
America too.
Yeah. People have like an idea like just because you're British, you're gonna sound like posh. You're gonna have like that posh accent. That,
Yeah.
Like, like, you know, you've been a sheltered kid your entire life, but like, you know, like even in London, like just in different boroughs of London, you have like the, you know, the Cockney accent and like Surrey stuff, like where there's just everybody. It's like, I feel like with all, I guess, English accents, it's just very much just pronunciation of like the
It's like
vowels.
the difference between Jersey and New York.
Well, that's
Yeah.
like I feel like that's one of the most like defined American accents is like the Boston, like Jersey, like that accent.
Yeah, like New England,
That's
any
like
of those.
the one that, yeah, the New England accent. That's one a lot of people know. You got like the
Yeah.
New England accent's the big one, and like the Texas Southern accent's the big one everyone knows. And then like I guess like the California accent,
Yeah,
but
it
I don't
like
know. When I've
Then
been in
when you go
California,
north, you go like Canadian.
yeah,
to
like
Europeans,
when I,
they only know New Yorker accent, Texas accent, and Hollywood accent. Those are the three.
yeah.
Those are like and Texas being just southern in general.
I feel
Like, but
like
they just
when I've
assume
been in
Texas.
California though, like it's not as defined an accent as like other places because California or like maybe like big metro areas in California like LA and stuff. There's like so many people there. It's like this melting pot, more so than usual, of like people from all over the country. Everyone's coming to LA for different shit. So like
Yeah.
I don't know. I find whenever you're in LA or California, like you're not walking around hearing everybody with like the super
Yeah.
stereotypical LA accent. There's people with all different weird shit there, and I guess same
Yeah.
for like New York or any like
Yeah.
big area.
It's
Yeah.
much more defined in areas like Santa Cruz. Like me and
That's
my
fair.
roommate were in Santa Cruz and we're going through and we're like, this is like probably the most Californian town we'd ever been to.
It's fucking Santa
Like
Cruz.
we,
It's like it's a beach city. It's like, you know, you're
I
obviously
don't
gonna
think
get
I've
like a
been
lot
there. That
of.
sounds nice.
we rolled with the windows rolled down and we would just weed. It was awesome. It was just like
Dude, that's how it is. Every time we go to LA, it's like first stop is like dispensary, and then we like drive down the PCH, like hitting a pin or something, and that's always just like the biggest vibes.
PCH is
Oh,
fucking dope.
also doing acid on a beach off the PCH, that was like a super sick one, but that one's a
Shit.
little. That one was kind of scary near the nighttime.
Don't do drugs, kids.
You know, don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Oh shit, am I allowed to
Yeah.
talk about that?
No, I think you. Yeah, you should be fine. Like fucking.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You know, now we're not liable.
Yeah, we're not liable.
Like
Disclaimer: drugs are
long
bad.
as long as I say it, like we're fine.
This podcast is not medical advice. We are not medical professionals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shit.
Yeah, like it's a definitely like a weird experience because it's like I can't really understand like what it is like to I guess come to LA or California, you know, like on vacation because it's like, you know, to me it's like pretty much
Yeah.
growing up here. It's like I've just, you know, LA is just
Have you been in
my
LA
backyard.
your whole life? Pretty much.
For the most part, yeah. Like at least for the most
That's
of the
fair.
most, at least as far as I can remember, like
Mhm.
That's sick.
the parts that matter.
I mean, my experience with LA is like my favorite city on earth is like New York City. I love like the super big, like everything's super close by, like skyscrapers. You don't have to have a fucking car. Like
Dude.
everything's within walking distance. And so I go to LA and it's like the weather's great. It's beautiful. Like obviously there's a lot of stuff there for music and all. But like the actual city itself, it's like it's like a normal like suburb city, but just like really really big, which like isn't bad. But when
Yeah.
I like imagine like big city, I'm like I don't know. I
Yeah,
was hoping for more of the
Yeah, when you imagine like
metro
big city,
experience.
yeah, you imagine like vertical and not like
Yeah.
horizontal expansion. Cause fucking that's like
Definitely.
that's all LA is. It's just out. They're like, cause you know we're scared of earthquakes. No building up. That's a bad idea. So
And I guess that's
fucking-
probably fair though. If they started building too far up, then they could kind of get fucked over.
Yeah, the only problem is like people were like scared that there was gonna be like a huge earthquake, like the big one, so to speak, and then they
The
were
big
like,
one.
it's coming, it's gonna be here in the next 5 years, and then fucking like 40 years later nothing happened. So like eventually
Damn.
they were like,
That's like
fuck
those
it, you know what?
people. That's like those like prophet people that are trying to like predict the end of the world, and they're like, "No, I'm telling you, this shit's
Yeah.
gonna happen." And it was like was like 2012, and then that didn't happen, and that was the big one. Then after like they shifted it, and they're like, no, we were wrong. Now it's like 2016 that it's gonna happen, and then that came in way, and then it's pushed back again.
Yeah,
But
2017. Like,
one day the world will end, and whenever it does, they'll all those people are gonna be like, I told you so, finally.
just
But I guess at that point it probably won't matter because the world will be ending and we'll all be dying.
yeah.
It's like
It's a rough world.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's like it's really interesting how that is. It's like I don't understand. It's like what's the point of like wanting to prove that the end of the world is coming, right? Because it's like
Because you want people to follow you as a prophet, and then you start a cult, and then like you're these
You get
people's
money.
god or some shit.
yeah, but
You get
like,
money and power.
no, but that's like there's a difference. I feel like with fucking people who are like wanting to make people believe that it's coming, and then there are people that want to prove that it's gonna happen, and that's the part that I don't get, right? Because it's like, okay, if it happens, you proved it, but now the world's ending. What do you get out of it? You know?
It's like it's not really a very good win scenario
It's oh my
unless
God.
you're doomsday
Yeah.
prepping, getting the bunker all hooked up. So
Yeah.
that's a little.
It's like,
Even
I
though,
love,
even then, your chances of survival are low.
Yeah, I've kind of accepted like if shit goes down and like nuclear war comes through, I'm just gonna probably just die. I don't see myself surviving in an apartment
yeah,
downtown.
oh, I'm just
I mean, hopefully they wouldn't bomb downtown Tulsa. Hopefully they've got bigger priorities. But
yeah,
maybe not.
Probably.
I'm dead for sure. Like, you know,
Oh yeah, if you're in LA, like
I'm gone.
I mean, Oklahoma City maybe might have an issue, but I don't think we
Yeah.
would.
I don't know. I think Tulsa
Yeah.
does have like an Air Force base or something.
We have an Air Guard base and we have a National Guard base.
You guys would probably like be fine
So
because
Air,
they would
Air,
probably
Air National Guard and Army National Guard.
yeah, you guys would
Okay.
probably like fine because you would probably be like the last ones to go. It would probably go like from the coasts inward, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Because it would take a while for something
Yeah.
to get all the way here, like in the center of the country.
And also like
So-
all of our all of our enemies are, if we have enemies, are separated by oceans. So it's like
If we have enemies.
that's fair. All humans hate each other. I just try
Yeah.
not to get political.
Everyone is an enemy.
Everyone, dude, I'm my own enemy.
True.
Like that.
Cheers to
Shit,
that.
now we're talking about fucking nuclear war and,
And-
enemies and shit. Now we've accidentally gotten into politics. Abort. Turn back.
Yeah, let's
No. It all circles back.
But I'll just look
the one
back.
rule.
The like speaking of like fucking when we were talking about like prophet, those guys who were like prophets and shit. Have you guys ever? Do you guys have those in like Tulsa? The guys who are like with the picket signs and like the megaphones are like, you better repent or you're going to die like tomorrow.
Very rarely.
I haven't seen
Very
one that
rarely.
does like religious shit, but there is this guy, sometimes downtown here, where I'll be walking and he'll be out on a street corner and he doesn't have like a megaphone, but he has his voice like mic'd or amplified in some way.
Oh,
Which
yeah,
that's like
he's-
mystery number one because
he's
he's
got,
always
like-
standing there and he doesn't have any sort of visible speaker or mic, and yet his voice is really loud. I'm like, how do you have this set up?
Does he have
And
like
then
one of these
he's-
like belts?
He might.
It's,
I
like, one
haven't
of the
gotten a
speaker
super
belts.
close look, but he's
I
got
think I know
something
who
like
you're
that
talking about.
going, and then he's got the Guy Fawkes mask. He always
I
wears
haven't
like
seen
the
that.
no, yeah, he's always wearing like the Guy Fawkes mask, the V for Vendetta shit, and he's always on street corners just like screaming like anti-government shit, like anarchist shit, like wild ass shit. And like
Sounds
a
like
couple
Tulsa.
times, a couple times I've seen him and he'll have like cops around him and shit like talking to him, but I don't like they've never like arrested him or anything. I think dude's just out there going off on some shit.
Dude,
It's a little awkward to walk by sometimes and just like avoid eye contact. It's just like,
dude, like
I'm just trying to go to work. Just trying to get some fucking food or something.
yeah, bro.
like-
I'm trying to like go to work. This dude's trying to draft me into the revolution. Like, I'm like, shit,
Dude.
man. I gotta be there in 5 minutes.
dude,
All the time, man.
naturally LA's got a fuck ton of those people like
Oh, yeah, I
weird
bet.
spouting crazy, but it's like fucking it is so entertaining sometimes. Like sometimes
yeah.
like I'll like if I'm walking like at least on like on the other side of the street, like not next like not like right there, I'll slow down just a little bit to like kind of get an idea of what they're
See-
talking about. Like
that
So that-
happened
Okay.
at
it's just-
Pride, actually. at the Pride Parade a while back. We had one of those guys with the picket signs and the fucking
Oh, I
thing.
bet.
And I was just standing there. I got an ice cream from that place at the box yard, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just listening to this guy and some other people just having this fucking weird ass, shouting match, and it was hilarious. It was so funny.
That's sick.
Looking at it from like the outside, just like.
No, yeah, I've always been like kind of curious what the anarchist guy has been saying. Like one of these days, I'm like, man, maybe I should go like sit down and see what this dude's going off. But I'm also
like
kind of sketched.
like
outside
not
of,
to
like,
believe it,
grab
but
a
just
beer
like
and
to
just-
to like just to kind of like for entertainment purposes, like
Just
do the
roll
other
up to the dude with like a 6-pack and a joint and be like, all right, bro, let's teach me a lesson. What you got? Show me what you got.
like, tell me a story. Fucking like the other day, like a friend and I were walking, fucking just like just hanging out because like we had like hadn't hung out in a while, due to fucking COVID and shit. And there was this dude, like fucking standing there barefoot. His feet were like very dirty, like but like covered in like chalk almost. And we were like
Okay.
wondering like where the fuck it came from. And then he's like standing there like surrounded by rubble for some reason where we also didn't know where it came from. And then he's like yelling like fucking like he's commanding an army in front of him. And he's talking about like your shield in your left hand, your sword in your right hand, we fucking march. And it was like the funniest shit I've ever heard
It's
because it
fucking
was like
intense.
dude, I'm like, I don't know what that guy was on. It was so, it was almost inspiring to like a degree,
Yeah, it's like I don't know what you're on about, bro, but you got me hyped up.
Dude, I don't
You got
like,
me energized.
like I don't know what this means, but like, have a good rest of your day, man.
I'm marching on my daily
It
commute.
reminds me of when me and my roommate were at Venice Beach, and we're like, walking down, looking at all the weird little storefronts and whatnot on Venice Beach.
All
And
the
we had
good
this
stories
guy-
are Venice.
Yeah, we had this guy walking behind us who was clearly on some shit, and he's just talking about it's like this person that like pissed him off and like fucked him over or something, and he's like, of course, talking to himself, and he's just like, oh, blah, blah. I'm like, damn.
Damn.
How did this guy? What did a person do to get this guy so mad? It's like that quote from the Boondocks.
Yes. I was watching that the other night. That's a banger of a show.
Dude,
I
need
think
to
the worst
watch
shit
it.
I've seen on the street was it was years ago when I was like a kid, and me and my family were in Barcelona, and so we're strolling down the street, Barcelona, minding our own business, and we see on the other side of the street, on the other sidewalk, walking towards us, is this dude, and we didn't notice anything wrong at first, and we had to do like a double take because this man was walking down the street toward us, fully naked, like no shoe, like full butt ass naked, but this man had shorts tattooed on his lower parts, like where you'd be wearing shorts normally, like there was shorts tattooed onto his body directly.
like,
And before you ask, yes, it was tattooed onto his dick too. Like this man, full commitment. I believe it was on his dick.
was it like solid coloring or was it just like?
I mean, I didn't get to get an up close look, if I'm being honest, and it was a real long time ago.
Yeah.
But I remember it being like decent enough to where it's like if you just saw him out of the corner of your eye and like weren't really paying attention,
like
it
you
might
wouldn't
like
notice?
pass and you may not like really notice. But then like if you actually stop and like look, then you'll be like, hey, yo, hold up, this man's actually not wearing pants.
That's insane.
Yeah, I don't think
That's-
he had a shirt tattooed on. I'm not sure.
That'd
So
be,
even
like-
if yeah.
Do you think he ever like just forgets that he's not wearing pants?
Nah, I think that's got to be something you're like always aware of. Like every time he leaves, like he's not just like accidentally walking out of the house. Like he gets halfway to like the grocery store and is like, ah, shit, forgot to put all my clothes on.
That's not something you miss. Like you'll feel
yeah.
the breeze down there immediately.
Oh yeah, but like I don't know if it's like maybe he's like on some like nudist thing where it's like some like belief thing for a reason he doesn't wear clothes, or if this dude's just trying to like be really weird and make a statement. But I don't know. I'm surprised. Like I feel like a little while after that trip, like a couple years later, I saw like a news article on him or something, which like raises the question of like how is this dude able to do that for that long and like not like be arrested. Because like if you did that shit in America, if you're in like a big city like that and you start walking down the street naked, that shit does not fly, bro. You will get like picked up by the closest cop and thrown in jail. So I don't know how this dude's become like a local celebrity for swinging his dick around the streets, but Barcelona's a lit place, I guess.
Good
Yeah,
question,
Europe
dude.
is a different place.
Europe is just, I mean, Europe is like very lax when it comes to, like, at least with nudity. I feel like they're more lax with, like, they're kind of lax with nudity the same way that the US is very lax with, like, violence, and at least in, like, media and shit like that. You know, it's like, for us, like,
Yeah.
you know, you can have somebody, you can have, like, have a TV show or a movie where somebody gets, like, fucking brutally stabbed and shit, and then that's, like, PG-13 and shit, and for them, that's, like, you know, fucking unheard of. But, like,
yeah,
you know,
but then like you can't show like a nipple in film here without it being like rated R.
And it's the other way around there.
So and they have nude beaches in Europe too, I think. I'm not sure. Are there any nude beaches still in the US? There might be.
Probably
I
somewhere.
can't think of,
Fucking
somewhere.
yeah, I don't want to look it up, but you know, I'm just gonna
nude beaches near me. Fucking Google Map that shit. Have me there by tomorrow.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if there was something down here like that. I would not, like, at all.
Tulsa nude beaches.
Fucking.
Just like on the side of the fucking river.
Or yeah, on the river or like at a lake somewhere.
A nude lake beach? Ooh.
Man, having a river.
That's a downgrade.
Sounds nice.
I'm out of curiosity. I'm looking at.
All right.
Caps is planning his spring break vacation right now.
Mother of fucking God.
Alright, lay it on us.
There is in Depew.
And where?
There's a nudist park in Depew.
Where is
trails
Depew?
And shit. Depew is. All right, where is this? This is just off of I-44 between Stroud. It's between Oklahoma City and Tulsa.
Like near us?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just looking at places like the U.S. in general. I didn't.
No,
oh, it's
I was
like
looking. I literally searched Tulsa nude beaches, and there's a nude park halfway between here and Oklahoma City on I-44.
Oh my
God.
God.
Is so weird. Fuck.
It's clothing optional.
Bro, I don't. Clothing optional.
It's closed. It opens. It's because it doesn't open till like the morning.
Yeah.
That's so
Dude, I don't know if I would
God.
trust a Oklahoma nudist park, especially one that's like. It's not even in like a big city. It's kind of like out like off a
It's
fucking
outside of
highway.
Stroud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is like that's like one of those towns that's like right off the highway. That's like small ass town Oklahoma. So I don't know what's going on out there, but it might be some crazy shit, or it might be a lot of meth. Who knows?
A lot of meth, a lot of weed, probably
Dude,
a combination.
I love how much Oklahoma is just like taken to weed. Like for my job, I have to go survey a lot of weed grow facilities, like their HVAC systems and ventilation, to make sure it's all up to code. And there's so many like weird people like running these like operations around Tulsa, and these just like all like empty office spaces on strip malls and like warehouses and shit. And it's giving me this like whole new view when I'm driving around the city now, because I see all these like warehouses or any like offices I'm driving around. I'm like, damn, there could be like a whole ass weed operation in there based on what I've seen, and like no one will ever know.
It happened so quickly. It went from weed being illegal to poof, a dispensary on every fucking block. Literally, like if I was to go down Harvard, like 2 miles, there'd be about 4 dispensaries.
Yeah, Harvard's a rough one. I think a lot of them have started to close, or at least a few of them have, because you know, there was never the demand to like support how many dispensaries opened.
Yeah.
So hopefully it like kind of dies down a bit. I
There's
know there's
still a
this
fuck ton.
there's this one that has made me question the business side of weed, because they do permanent buy one get one free on all their weed. Like it's not like a time thing. You can walk in, and if you buy like an eighth, they'll give you a quarter. And so then I'm thinking, like, what is the typical profit margin on weed when these people are selling it? Because if these guys are able to basically make everything half off and still be like open for business, like doing great, then that means that the full price profit margin must be insane if they're still able to make that decent profit at half price. So I think we're all getting scammed or eventually the weed market's gonna like crash, or maybe not.
Well, would this place
Who
like,
knows?
are they maybe like just raising the price of like an eighth because they know they're gonna give you double?
Well, no, because it's still typical. Like, they still show you the prices, and you can walk in. They've got stuff that's like 8 a G or 10 a G or 12, 15, whatever. And so most of the time, I'll go in there and I'll just grab something that's like the 10 a G level. So I'm paying like $35 for an eighth, 3.5 grams, and then they give me a quarter. So I mean, it should. I think that's still a pretty standard pricing, but I don't know.
It's a good ass
Uh,
deal.
uh,
Yeah, dude, it's
Yeah.
the one on Harvard and 15th. They're just undercutting the whole city.
It's probably because maybe potentially it's just so cheap to grow that,
Yeah,
like, especially because Oklahoma itself, things grow so quickly here. Like the ground is perfect for
dude.
this shit out here.
Bro, the
And
worst shit
so-
I've seen though was there's this dispensary kind of out in the middle of nowhere, kind of by like the Hard Rock,
Mhm.
and they were doing a deal where I got 3 ounces of bud for $150, which is just like that's like really sus, like from the start. Like what's going? And so when I walked in, it was kind of this like little hole in a wall place, and the deal was real. I did buy that. I did get it. I think maybe when you were over, you probably had some of it, but
Probably.
it was like their outdoor grow, and like I think it wasn't necessarily as good as their normal stuff because after smoking it for a while, we realized it was kind of trash weed. But also, like, even if it's trash weed, like if I'm getting basically an ounce for $50, like, dude, I don't care if it's trash weed. That is like too good of it. Like that just means you smoke more of it.
Yeah.
So I'm down for that deal any day of the week. But
Like,
shit's far away.
I am like
Yeah.
not really sure what any of that means.
It's a
But,
lot. It's a lot.
Like, how much is an ounce? Like, if
I
you
mean,
had to
it's
like,
28 grams, and so if you're paying 10 a gram, then that would be 280. But I think various places will have like deals and stuff, to where if you're buying
Okay.
like in larger quantities, then you maybe wouldn't pay the full price depending on the
Well, like-
dispensary.
So normally you'd be paying $900 for something you would get for 150.
that's
Essentially.
nuts. Okay.
Yeah,
Wait, so like an ounce, like how much does that like?
bro, you're in
I don't-
California. You're supposed. This is.
I don't like. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's
No,
obvious, but
you're
I don't
fine.
smoke
Pure
weed.
boy.
I'm quite pure
No,
in
no, I
that sense.
understand.
But like,
I mean, I don't
I guess
know.
like how
Wait, what's
many,
the
how
question?
many, like how many times can you like smoke using that like 1 ounce?
Like an ounce, like quite a fucking bit.
Like, divide
I
it.
mean, it depends. Like, if I'm just like, if I was just had an ounce for me here in my day-to-day life, that shit would last me like quite a fucking while. Cause I don't smoke a ton in my day-to-day. I'll have like maybe like a bowl or something, and so in that regard, like it's hard to divide an ounce. It's like what, like a single gram, I guess you could maybe make like. Let's just do it in terms of joints. That's the best way to do it because a lot of joints are sized to be 1 gram joints or like 1 gram rolls. And so, if in that regard, you could say it's 28 joints. And so, if you're smoking by yourself, depending on your tolerance, smoking a whole joint by yourself should get you pretty fucking toasted, depending on what it is. So, I mean, you could even say that for a single person, a single joint would be like 2 smoke sessions because you could probably do like a half a joint each. And assuming your tolerance is like low, then you'd probably be at a reasonable high buzz unless you're trying to get like blasted.
Mhm.
So you could almost argue it's like 56 smoke sessions of just like being at like a good, nice high level as a single person.
One
Which
ounce
I mean, yeah.
could last you anywhere from a month to a month and a half to 2 months, depending on how much
Yeah.
you smoke.
But dude,
So
I
you
swear to
get
God,
3 of those for 150.
That's insane.
which is pretty good.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
But dude, I don't know, dude. Some people, sometimes it goes fast. Like I'll have like people come over here and we'll start loading like, they'll always bring over like king palms and shit, which are like, they'll bring over like the 1.5 gram king palms, which like sounds great, lit. Except then you go through like a handful of those in a night and you're not paying attention. Then I wake up the next morning and like all my weed's just fucking gone. And I'm like, well, maybe we should stop smoking fucking 1.5 gram joints like 5 times a night. But that's just me.
Yeah. I know nothing about the
Man,
topic.
that water was clutch. Weed is weed, bro. Don't do drugs,
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah,
This
don't
is
do
not medical
don't do
advice. We are not
Uh,
medical professionals.
Yeah.
Only do it if it's legal.
Do it if it's legal or if you're required by a doctor.
Yes.
If you're required by a doctor, the doctor's gonna be like,
Required.
"All right, listen, motherfucker, put the joint in your fucking mouth now."
Dude.
Doctor's like, "This is not voluntary. This is mandatory marijuana."
Do you think there's anybody who has to do that?
I
You think
mean,
there's like
I don't think it's mandatory, but
is
it
there
definitely
any
helps with a lot.
scenario in which a doctor will force you to take a medication? I mean, maybe if you're like in a hospital for like a mental condition, they would like push their inmates or their patients. Depending on the mental hospital, inmates or patients, depending on what type of place it is, they
feel
would
like it's
like push them
patients
to take their
regardless.
medication. But I don't know, for something like weed or even just for most like medications, if you're just seeing your doctor, I can't imagine the doctor like forcing it on you. Like if you didn't want to take it, they'd probably just be like, "All right, well, fucking don't get better then. Just be miserable. Like if you don't
Well,
want to take it, then
Like that's your choice.
yeah, like
I
all
mean,
right."
I guess I'm more so like wondering if there's like a situation where it's like, I guess unless you want to like not get better, like that's your option. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because obviously it's like up to you, but it's like always your choice. But you know, it's like, is there one where that's like the better, obviously like the best
Like,
choice for you?
I mean, people do like refuse treatment. Like, I
yeah.
mean, what? I guess like famous examples are like Steve Jobs, wasn't he? He was on like he didn't like get his cancer treated properly, purposely because he like wanted to like do it naturally or something, and apparently that was like a pretty significant role in his passing.
Mhm.
And there have been other people, I guess, that don't want treatment for whatever reason, but I guess it's usually just from some beliefs or whatever.
Mhm.
I don't know if I would advise people to not get cancer treatment, but I don't think cancer is something. Maybe if you like chug some essential oils or something, it'll nip that in the bud. Just like shit, honey, I got leukemia again. Pass the whatever
Just
essential
Where's
oils.
give
the
me a-
essential oils?
where's the aloe vera? I'll fix
You're like,
that
oh
up.
shit, got leukemia again. I'm gonna go light some incense and hotbox the bathroom real quick. BRB.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hot yoga away the cancer.
I mean, yeah, whatever works, right?
Whatever,
Okay.
if it works.
Yeah. Anyway.
We do not condone any of
Moving
that.
on. Yeah,
This
please
is the
go
worst conversation.
if you have health issues, please go get them treated. Don't die. We don't
Yeah,
want
if
to be
you-
responsible for anybody's death.
Yeah, if any
Um,
viewers, if anyone has cancer, get that taken care of. Don't do essential oils; it won't work.
Yeah. But
if any of our
feel like
viewers
that-
have cancer, just a side note.
yeah, you know,
That's your
it's
treat.
like if you have cancer and you're dumb enough to think that essential oils will be your cure, then please no, that's not the case.
Podcast got so dark at the end.
Hey man, sometimes
Getting
it
some
goes
heavy
like that.
shit.
I guess we can go on a bit of a brighter note since we have like a few minutes left.
Yeah,
I guess just for small talk, like what have you been up to, during the pandemic times?
yeah. Okay. So if we start at the beginning of the pandemic, like last spring or so, almost a year ago now. So I
Yeah.
would have been finishing school last spring, and about halfway through the semester is when they like killed everything and everyone had to go home.
Yep.
Which was great for me because all my teachers like had no idea what was going on and they were like scrambling to get shit together, and so the last half of that semester was just super easy. And then after that, I was living at home for the summer, just like making music and being lazy, trying to look for a job. But at that point, the job market was not exactly lucrative. So later on, I finally got a job here where I am currently in the beginning of September. And so I've been living and working in Tulsa since then, just doing engineering stuff like HVAC, plumbing, and then, of course, like music stuff. But then I guess as far as like music stuff goes, we had the last thing was the Good Vibes release Anodize back in September, also September. And then now we've got the Boost tape coming up this Friday. Well, I say this Friday. When this video drops, it probably won't be this Friday.
Yeah, it'll be
But this
it'll be
Friday
pretty...
from when it's dropping, March 5th.
Yeah, it'll be
And then, oh yeah, continue. Sorry.
yeah, it'll be like out already by like for
Okay,
a while
perfect.
probably. So like,
And then
yeah.
if I've got another one the next week. I remember am I probably good to talk about it? Do you think this video will be released late enough that like I can talk about the one coming the week after on the 12th? Then I've got
The 12th of what?
March.
Oh yeah, you were fine.
Okay,
Yeah, it'll
perfect.
be...
Then the next week
You're
after
good.
the Boost tape, I've got the collab with Luca Lush coming out on Heaven Sent, the new SLANDER label.
Finally.
Let's go.
Yeah, no, that one's been in the works for a while, and it's been like, it's just been a lot getting that one all organized and ready to come out. That one's been coming together for a while, and it was originally scheduled to come out in June on my birthday on June 11th, which would have been a killer birthday. But then they hit us up and they were able to move it up a bit, and so now we've got 2 songs coming out in 2 Fridays. So really excited for the first half of this month. That one will be cool, and then I've just got some other stuff I'm working on to hopefully be able to put out later throughout the year, but that has not been fully locked in yet. So we'll hope that gets organized soon too, and we'll see how it goes.
Damn. All right. Well,
Oh, yeah.
you've definitely been busy, and for like, you know, everybody listening, like all of these things will probably be out already. So
Yeah, I would assume all the stuff we talked about would be out by the time the video's out. So I hope everyone is enjoying the songs while you're watching this
Yeah.
video.
we'll put them in the descriptions and
Check
and
out his
shit.
SoundCloud. Check out his Spotify. All
Yeah.
the socials.
Of course,
Absolutely.
of course.
We're like, I think we are actually approaching like the end of the hour. Yeah, just like we're a little bit off. So it's like, do you have like I guess
Perfect.
any, you know, any like last few things that you wanna
Any last few things? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I guess we went over what I've been up to lately, what I've got coming up. So, no, I don't know. I guess everyone just stay tuned. I'll hopefully be putting out music soon, and I guess I hope that this interview has helped people get to know me. I don't know.
I mean, probably
The real
you know?
me, talking about pizza and accents and cities
Hey,
and
man,
shit. The
it's
real
like-
VARI under the mask. The story they
Dude.
don't want you to know off the record.
You got a passion for voice acting, like obviously.
Maybe. I hate my
yeah.
voice sounding on recordings. I'm probably gonna watch this video and cringe at my own voice.
Dude, I feel you.
That's
I
how it
feel like
goes.
my voice comes out to
I'm
be
the same
like,
way.
I feel like my voice always comes out to be like fucking 8 octaves higher than like what I think it sounds like.
Dude, mine's the opposite. I always think it comes out every time I hear myself talking. I'm always like talking like super like low and deep, and like I feel like I sound like an ogre when I talk. But
Bruh, I like, my brain thinks I sound like, or just to my ears, I think I sound like, I guess I have like a normal tone quality, but then
Yeah.
when I talk, I feel like I have, I guess, like a higher range. I feel like I'm like fucking like alto like range when I speak, or like tenor range when I
Damn.
speak, and
no,
I
that's
feel like
too real.
Oof.
I guess everyone's perception of their voice is different.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I wish I could like fix it, because I mean I feel like I used to like before I did like I took like choir in high school, and I had like a lower, I used to have like a lower voice, and I was like a singer in the bass range, but they put me in a tenor because they were lacking tenors, and I'm like, I can't do this, and eventually I had to like force myself to go higher, so I feel like my voice just ended up elevating after that, and it's like permanently there now, which is
Damn.
really weird.
I
feel like-
remember I was kind
yeah.
of like that in like middle school, in like the choir shit they had us do there. I was like in the higher regions of voice, and then like eventually, because like it was like in that like prime like part of middle school where it's like everyone's kind of like hitting puberty, and so like in that like 2-year span everyone's voice is like dropping significantly as that happens. And so like it started off and I was like fucking high pitched voice, And then like there was a day where we were like singing, and I like raised my hand to the teacher. I'm like, man, like I can't hit these notes anymore. Like this is difficult. And then
Oh
I
yeah.
got moved down. I was still fucking whatever the next level is, high pitched, but shit was rough.
Yeah, it's just weird.
That's
Especially
why I
the
don't
vocal
sing.
stuff.
I hate singing after middle school. We had these tryouts for this like special choir thing, like for like competition or something. And so a bunch of people like auditioned and shit for it. And I think I was like the only one that didn't make it out of the people that auditioned. Yeah, it was rough. So
I
for like dead ass, like since then I like don't sing. I was like, all right, cool. And then after that, I picked up playing guitar, which eventually led to doing production. So maybe if I hadn't gotten rejected from the choir in middle school, I wouldn't be here today. It made me who I
yeah.
am.
Now
You
you're
wouldn't be
now you're
making Euro
fucking
bases on your Mac.
Yeah, I wouldn't be sitting here fucking grinding away at kick EQs, hating myself. That's for the worst lately.
Okay.
I've been having to spend so much time exporting songs because I'll like my processor like can't handle the project, so I gotta like export it and bring it into a different project to like master it. Whenever I'm editing it, it's like so much shit that it's like killing my processor, and I can't fully hear what I'm editing. So then I have to wait forever for it to export and actually hear it. And I've just been like doing that the past few days, just sitting here watching TV, waiting on shit to export. It's been
Oof,
super, super great. Love it.
mm,
that sounds horrible.
the struggles of a producer.
The struggle's too real, man.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're at the end of our time. We should probably actually end the episode instead of going on another
Yeah, sounds
tangent.
good.
But yeah, so I guess do you want to go ahead and plug pretty much all of your socials
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shit?
So, I guess we can put it in the description or something. But
Oh, absolutely.
all my social, I guess Instagram, all my socials are different. I'm trying to like unify them because it used to always be Vari official, but now I'm trying to like change that. So Instagram's Vari official, SoundCloud's Vari official, and then Twitter is like Vari_music, and like other social media probably doesn't matter. Like Spotify is just Vari.
Yeah.
Hopefully Spotify. I feel like when people search me up in Spotify, I don't come up at the top. I do for me, but that's probably just because I am me.
Yeah, you come up like for me you come up second.
Okay,
Uh
that's good. That's an improvement. I'll take it.
yeah. The first person that comes up is Varian.
Yeah, that's the one that always comes up first. That's the target. I
Yeah.
gotta search engine optimize.
Maybe you'll get there one day, I'm pretty sure.
One day I'm coming.
Yeah, fucking.
It'll
All
happen.
right. Well, yeah, for everybody
Oh yeah.
listening, all of Vari's shit will be down in the description below. All of like mine and Joe's, as well as the rest of the podcast, will be down there too. Please check out the rest of our episodes. 'Cause like fuck it, why not? And then go follow Vari and whatnot. We still don't have an actual outro for this, so like if you haven't noticed,
Yeah.
I've just like bullshit. We have like nothing prepared at all.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
I
Like
think that's the beauty of it.
you guys should get like a jingle going where like at the
Yeah.
end we all like sing along to a song.
This podcast sucks ass, but we like it anyway.
Okay.
This podcast sucks ass.
All right.
Yeah, bro. I'll sample that part and make a beat, and then we'll use that as the outro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like this is my pride and joy or anything, All right. But thank you everybody so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for our next episode, and yeah, we'll see you all later.